How much time do you think you have to spend on maintenance if you get yourself a reef tank? Is it really so much work or is it rather easy? Well, in this video I tell you about all the maintenance I do on my 400-liter Red Sea Reefer aquarium, daily, weekly, monthly and beyond. Starting with daily tasks, the most obvious one is feeding. First I defrost the food and then I just pour it in the reef tank. I feed my fish twice a day because I have some active swimming species like Anthias. If you have a small nano, you can probably get away with one-time feeding a day. Another daily task I do is inspecting my aquarium for problems. And I also take some time, of course, to actually enjoy the tank. Just having my own little reef in my living room is so fascinating. My daily task will take around 15 minutes, depending on how long I am watching my reef tank. Now on to the weekly tasks. The most important thing I do on a weekly basis is testing my water parameters. I test for alkalinity, salinity, phosphate, nitrate, magnesium and calcium. By knowing these parameters, I can keep a stable and healthy environment in my saltwater tank. Testing my water is also the most time-consuming part. It takes me around 45 minutes to 1 hour a week. The next weekly task is changing my filter wool. I change this stuff around 1 to 2 times a week, depending on how dirty it looks and how my parameters are. I throw the used filter wool in the bin. Then I get some new filter wool and give it a quick rinse with hot tap water. I put it back in the media cups and then shove it back in the sump. Easy done. I combine this task with emptying the skimmer cup. I use the hose that's attached to the skimmer cup and empty it in the bucket. This process takes me around 15 minutes. I also clean the glass around 2 times a week. Some algae is a bit harder to get rid of and for that I use a toothbrush or a sponge. With rimless aquariums it is also necessary to clean the outside of the tank because of the white salty stripes. I do this 1 to 2 times a week. This cleaning process takes me around 10 to 15 minutes. Another thing I like to do is to blast the rocks and the sand with a feeding pipette. By doing this, the detritus in the sand and on the rocks is getting in the water column and getting filtered out. The last weekly task is changing my jerry can with RODI water for my auto top-off unit. This is a really easy job and takes me only 1 minute. In total, I'm spending around 2 hours a week doing maintenance on my reef tank. I think that's an average time every reefer should spend to keep his reef tank healthy. Now onto the monthly tasks. I make my own RODI water and fill up all the jerry cans I have. This way I have enough RODI water for a month. Filtering the water and filling the jerry cans takes several hours, but that's no problem because I open the tap in the morning and just let it run the whole day when I'm home. Another thing I do is cleaning the skimmer cup once a month. This is a real pain in the ass and very dirty, but also these jobs are part of the hobby, of course. This task takes me around half an hour. Finally, there are some tasks that I need to do every 3 months or annually. Every 3 months or so, I clean my reef waves and my skimmer. I scrub this equipment with a brush and clean it by hand. Cleaning your equipment regularly really improves its performance. My reef waves, for example, kick out much more flow when cleaned. These 2 tasks take me around 1 to 2 hours, but as I said, it is only once in 3 months. Another task is to calibrate my dosing pump and add new dosing fluids if necessary. This way I make sure my dosing pump is dosing exactly the right amount of fluids. This takes me around 30 minutes at max. And last but not least, the annual tasks. There are 2 things I need to do once a year. The first one is changing the light bulb of the UV sterilizer. The UV sterilizer loses effectiveness quickly if the light bulb is too old. The second task is to change the DI resin of my RODI filter. This way there won't be any silicates in the water and the TDS stays at 0. These tasks take me at max 15 minutes each. There you have it, all the maintenance I need to do on my reef tank. If you consider buying a reef tank, I would really recommend to think about how much time you're wanting to spend. This hobby can be a really time-consuming if you want to establish a thriving and stable reef tank. I hope this video really helps you to form a good decision if a reef tank is what you want. If you liked the video, Give it a thumbs up. Do you want to see more of this kind of informative videos? Or follow me on my reef adventure? Make sure you subscribe. And for now, I see you in the next video. Ciao!